Okay. Okay, hello ladies and gentlemen, Force over here, welcome back to more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. Last time we started the second half of the investigation. Today, we're continuing where we left off with the last episode. So let's go ahead and get started. And we're gonna go ahead and move right straight to the Criminal Affairs Department. In order for us to do that, we had to go all the way back to the hotel lobby, but here we are, right here. March 21st, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. We spent, I believe it was like the fourth and fifth case of the first time in this area, and we're coming back to it once again. So let's see what happens now. Detective Gumshoe said they had an investigation briefing. Yeah. Oh, he's back! Hey, so you came, pal. Why the blunt greeting? Because there's nothing to be friendly or happy about. What do you mean by that? Well, things look perfect this time around. The evidence and testimony are airtight. But, we can't just roll over and die. We have to stay positive. Airtight evidence. So what do you mean the evidence is airtight? I can't give you all the details, pal, but there's two big pieces. Two? And both of them are in this photo. The first is the button that's missing from the victim's chest. That's the button that you found during your body search of Mr. Ungard. Yup. I found it in the folds of the nickel samurai special pants. And the second one is... the knife in his chest, pal. The fingerprints on the knife in his chest, to be exact. Fingerprints? Whose are they? You didn't even have to ask, little missy. It's obvious. They're mad on cards. Tomorrow's trial. Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place. Alright, airtight testimony. So what about this airtight testimony? It's that old security lady, Miss Oldbag. I thought so. What do you mean, you thought so? Did she tell you something, pal? Well... and I even told her not to open that mouth of hers and blab to anyone. Her blab knob is stuck on 10 and there's no turning it down. Trust me. Yeah, that is true. Turnabout Samurai can attest to that. Yeah, well, Miss Oldbank saw it all, pal. She saw Mr. Ungard come out of the victim's room around the estimated time of death. No way! Alright, so in order for us to keep going, we have to present to this man the magazine clipping that we found. We're pretty interested in this bit of gossip ourselves. The scandal with Mr. Corrida? But why? Well, 2 years ago, a woman committed suicide. Yeah, I probably should have given a trigger warning for the suicide part, because I knew it was coming, I just didn't know when. Because it has been a while since I last played this, so this side story of the case is going to be relevant as time goes on. It's going to be more and more relevant as time goes on, so be mindful of that. So you will be hearing them references, so I'm going to give a fair warning now, from here on in, that there may be talk or mention of suicide, because of this situation, so yeah, viewer discretion advised on this one. Suicide. Her name was Celeste Impax. And she was Juan Corrida's manager. The victim's manager? But that's not all, pal. Miss Impax was Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. She taught Miss Andrews everything she knew about the business from square one. Her mentor. A woman who was both Miss Corrida's manager and Miss Andrews' mentor. Could her suicide have something to do with this case? Do you want to know more about her, pal? And that will give us a new topic to discuss. She was the victim's manager and was also Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. It's been 2 years since her suicide, and now those two are linked again by another death. Or maybe it's just a coincidence, but what? I'm getting sick of dealing with one foolish idiot after another. Miss Von Karma! You can't seem to stop allying yourself with the enemy, can you? I don't need a traitor in my midst. You don't mean... I do, Scruffy. You have 30 minutes to get out of here. You are no longer needed. Goodbye. That's... Wait! Please wait, sir! If I don't get this month's pay, I'll... Quiet! If it weren't for traitors like you, I would have won. Is that what you want to say? Who? That voice. Edgeworth! He's back! It's been a long time, right? This is Mr. Edgeworth? What am I going to do with you? Still blaming others when things go wrong. You haven't changed a bit, Franziska. You! How dare you show your face to me without a shred of shame upon it? You soiled this Von Karma name, dragged it through the mud. You've even ran away with your tail between your legs like the ill-bred dog you are. Are you talking about the Von Karma family creed? To be perfect in every way. Then let's hear it, Franziska. How are things going? I hear you are having a rough time maintaining perfection in this country. Oh my god, this smug look on his face, though. You seem to be getting crushed under the weight of it all. That's why I came back. Keep your assumptions to yourself. I haven't given in yet. I won't lose. This case is mine. I'll never hand it over to you. Never. Mr. Phoenix Wright, I will see you tomorrow in court. It will be a clinical lesson on the meaning of total victory. Still the same wild man she always was. So now, it's time to talk to, Edgeworth here. Let's see what we can talk about. Tomorrow's trial. I thought you, the prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, had gone and died. Mr. Nick! I never wanted to see you again. I think that's enough of a warm welcome for someone you haven't seen in a year. Are you going to run tomorrow's trial? You heard it, right? That wild mare hasn't given in yet, it seems. So no, I don't think I'll be making an appearance. Your hatred for me is quite unhealthy, not to mention one-sided. But I will say one thing. You can't win on your own at the trial tomorrow. What is that supposed to mean? I have something definitive that you lack. And working together is the definition of teamwork. It's the power to find the truth. The truth? In order to understand this case, you have to understand a certain truth. Well, if you ever feel the need for my assistance, it is available to you. I'm not in charge of this case, so I can be a bit more generous with information. Just what is going on inside his head? Proof of Von Karma blood. A lot of things may have happened. However, Manfred von Karma was still my mentor. And a perfect win record is proof of a von Karma. 1 year ago. You could not establish guilt in a few cases. Are those losses the reason you suddenly disappeared from the prosecutor's office? Did you leave because you had lost your perfect win record? To think your motivation for prosecuting trials was so selfish. It'd been better for everyone if you never came back from the dead, Edgeworth. I see. Then let me ask you something. Why did you stand in the courtroom? What is your reason? Why stand in court? Well, with Franziska, she almost always says, I will defeat you this time, the instant she sees me. But the courtroom is not a personal battlefield for prosecutors and lawyers. I stand in the courtroom to defend my client, to save their lives. To save your client, you say? Those who think only for their own ego-driven goals. Those kind of prosecutors are reprehensible to me. Even if you're a prodigy, or someone like you, Edgeworth. It looks like there's still a lot you have yet to learn. A lot I have yet to learn? Me? Well, that's enough for now. The time when you will see is coming soon enough. Alright, so in order to continue this, we have to... show Celeste Dinpox's profile to Edgeworth. He might know something about this. This woman is another key to solving this case. Do you really think so? She was Adrian Andrews' mentor a long time ago. But she was suddenly called away by a different show and became Juan Corrida's manager. And then, a few months later, Celeste Inpax died. But her death was ruled a suicide, right? Yes. But there's still one riddle we've yet to solve. A riddle? Her suicide note. It went missing. No one could find it. A suicide note that just vanished, huh? So that will open up a missing suicide note for this one. Miss Inpax's death was most certainly a suicide. Of that there is no mistake. However, we could not find her suicide note. That's when the police began to suspect that someone had hidden it. The suicide note? But how do you know Miss Inpax had even written such a note? There was no solid evidence, however. We did find traces of ink on her right index finger, which makes the likelihood of a suicide note very high. But who would hide such a thing? The police think it was Mr. Juan Corrida himself. The victim? He was the one who found her body, which makes him the only person who had a chance to hide her suicide note. Mr. Corrida hid his own manager's suicide note? But why? As long as her note is missing, any speculation beyond this is meaningless. For now, I think you should look this over. This is the suicide report. Part 1, anyway. Part 1? Suicide report added to the court record. And so now, we gotta present it. I don't like to look through reports. I like suicide reports even less. Worst of all are the reports that have multiple parts like that one. That has 2. 2 parts? What you just handed me is the first part of the report. Here is the second part. The second part of the report is about an attempted suicide. The attempter's name. It's Adrian Andrews. Wait, that's been saying it, sorry. The attempter's name. It's Adrian Andrews. Miss Andrews? What did she do? She tried to kill herself? She doesn't seem like the kind of person to try to kill herself, though. You think she's a strong career woman? That's just what she wants you to think. Adrian Andrews. She has a certain secret she's always trying to hide. A secret? Her dependent nature. That's what she's really like on the inside. Miss Andrews? Dependent? Talk about the exact opposite of what that woman is. And that will open up yet another thing there. With dependent nature. What's this about Miss Andrews having a dependent nature? Excuse me. Adrian Andrews' attempted suicide was a few days after the death of Celestine Pox. And why did Adrian Andrews think about committing suicide? Because she had apparently lost her will to live. Lost her will? But why would she? Her pillar of strength, her mentor Celestine Pax, was gone forever. That's why. Why would that? Is this what they call following someone to the grave? After her attempted suicide, Adrian Andrews started attending counseling sessions. She is someone who needs a person in whom she can trust absolutely. And once she finds that person, she'll do anything that she can to keep them near. Without such an anchor in her life, her crippling anxiety stifles her ability to live. And that's the nature of her dependency on others? When Celestine Park suddenly committed suicide, the world before her turned pitch dark. That's according to Adrian Andrews herself. Then, that means her super confident attitude. It's all a facade. She's only copying her mentor's behavior to hold herself together. How terrible. Attempted suicide report added to the court record. And now we got everything. Now, here's what'll happen, because I know some people are going to be wondering about this. If you go here, March 21st, Detention Center Visitors Room. Ah, the lawyer dude, so what did you find out? Well, I'm still in the middle of investigating. I see. But I've already told you everything I know, dude. Now, you could talk to him about these things, but we've already pretty much figured it out. But if you go to Celeste Npox's profile and present it to him, this will happen. What's wrong? How much do you know? What do you mean by how much? Mr. Lawyer, I may be your client, but I hope you will keep yourself out of my personal life. No, I would never. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a lunch appointment I have to keep. You're in detention! Who in the world are you going to eat with? The security guard? Mr. Nick? This Celestine Pox lady. Somehow I get the feeling she is a very important person in all of this. Yeah, so doing that will cause him to leave. So let's go back to his hotel room, speaking of him. So much moving around, I'm telling you. March 21st, Gatewater Hotel, Unguard's hotel room. Oh, Miss Andrews is here. But it looks like she's talking with someone. That's Francisco von Karma. Miss von Karma? What are you doing here? Well, you see, I'm his lawyer, so you've got some nerve following me around. Following you? That's you, Miss von Karma. You're the one doing the following. Pearls. You were always following after that Mr. Detective with the little beard. Me? Following after Scruffy? Don't make me laugh. Let me show you something interesting, little girl. What is that? An electromagnetic receiver. I planted a tracking device on that detective. As if we haven't figured that out at all. And with this, I know that fool's every move. So that noise we heard was this receiver. I feel really sorry for poor Detective Gumshoe now. Now then, let's stop wasting time. Adrian Andrews! Yes? Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood? Alright. What were those two talking about? Miss Andrews, she seems a little dazed, doesn't she? Alright. Alright, so now we got a few things we can do here. First things first, let's go ahead and present Matt Unguard's profile to to Andrews. I asked to become Mr. Unguard's manager. He's a pleasure to manage with his nice disposition. Mr. Unguard does seem like a rather weak-willed man, always doing as he's told. He's always saying my manager, right, Mr. Nick? Alright, so there's that. Now... Alright, so now... we got the motive for murder. We already looked at this. And so, let me talk to you about this. You know something, don't you? About why Mr. Corino was murdered. And there's 4 psyche locks. Why are you asking me? Don't tell me you can see inside my heart. No, but I can see the locks you have on your psyche. If you don't remove her locks... yeah, it's worthless to even ask. Alright, so now it's time to present the Magatama!
Take that!
Alright, motive for murder. Why was Juan Corina murdered? If you ask me, I think you know the reason he was killed. Why are you hiding things? Don't you realize you're putting Mr. Unguard's life in danger by your actions? Why do you ask questions for which I have no answers? The truth is, I was not that close to Mr. Corina. You were not that close? That's right, I've never been good at being intimate with another person. You are not good at being intimate with another person? Somehow I highly doubt that. And the magazine clipping will tell you that.
Take that!
You and Mr. Corina had an intimate relationship, did you not? A silly third-rate tabloid article. If you even had half of your wits about you, you wouldn't believe such rubbish. Well, it seems quite a few people have already bought into this story. As to be expected in a world filled with crooks and liars. Note to self, stay on a good side. In any case, I despise interpersonal relationships like that. I see. However, what if there was a need for you to get close to someone? Me? Need to get close to Mr. Corrida? As if there was ever such a need. Didn't you get close to Mr. Corrida for this person's sake? And that person would be Celeste Inpax. Celeste Inpax, your mentor. How do you know about Celeste? Miss Inpax. She committed suicide, didn't she? But it looks like no one knows why. Right before her death, she was Juan Corrida's manager. So I believe you got close to Mr. Corrida so you could find out more about her suicide. You have a great imagination. You may have a future yet as a slimy muckraker for a putrid, third-rate tabloid. Miss Andrews? There was no mystery surrounding her death. None. It would be pointless for me to force myself into a relationship for nothing. Is that really true? Is there really no mystery at all? I don't believe you were completely at ease with the way her suicide was resolved. So now we gotta go with the suicide report. Try not to get the suicide and the attempted suicide reports mixed up when you do this, alright? Miss Inpox's suicide note was never found, was it? It looks like the police were under the suspicion that someone had hidden it. Like maybe the person who discovered her body, Mr. Corrida. Juan? And Miss Andrews, I believe you thought the same thing. That is why you became intimate with Mr. Corrida. I've sat by him quietly and listened to your insulting ramblings long enough. It's true that Celeste was my mentor. However, allow me to say this again. It had nothing to do with me. I didn't even know that her suicide note was never found. I'm a person who doesn't care about what goes on in the lives of others. That's the impression you like to give. However, I don't think that's who you really are. What? I have evidence that says otherwise. This is proof that Celeste Inpax was someone very special to you. Now present the attempted suicide note. Miss Andrews, you nearly went through with it too, didn't you? Went through with what? Ending your life. Miss Andrews, you look and act like a very strong woman who has it all together. You don't ask for anyone's help, relying only on yourself. Yes, I've been very independent ever since I can remember. However, that is all just a lie. A facade. You've always searched out people on whom you can depend on. You were dependent on Miss Inpox, weren't you? Which is why, when she passed away, you lost everything you had. Stop! When Celeste passed away so suddenly like that, I died a death of my own. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't stop thinking about what had become of her note. You must have heard about the police report. The one that said the police suspected Mr. Corrida of hiding Miss Inpox's note. You heard about it and thought to recover it from him by getting close, am I right? If that's the case, then everything changes. What do you mean? What topic did we start this conversation on again? It was, why was the victim killed? Exactly. Somehow, Miss Andrews, it seems that you have become the one with the reason to want Mr. Corrida dead. Me? Miss Inpox was everything to you. and then she died. And you would do anything to find out why she killed herself. Even commit murder. Murder? Unlock successful. Motive for murder. It's true. I am a woman who can only live in insecurity. I'm physically small and I don't really have a lot of self-confidence. I pushed against all that, though. I've tried to live strongly. I never wanted anyone to find out the truth. Miss Andrews, this one thing, it's the one thing I wanted to take with me to the grave. It was my secret, mine and mine alone. I'm sorry. If you hear something in the background, that's my phone ringing. Don't mind it. You probably think I'm a worthless human being right now, don't you? Please, Miss Andrews. All I want to know is the truth. After Celeste passed away, I heard that someone had hidden her suicide note. And that someone was Juan Corrida. Celeste. Without her I became scared. Everyone seemed like they were out to get me. So you got close to Mr. Corrida to recover her suicide note, correct? Looks like that tabloid reported the truth after all. Ironic, isn't it? Well, like they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. And if they purposely added fuel to the fire, they keep the celebrity world burning. But as for the suicide note, I didn't and wouldn't kill anyone for it. It just doesn't suit me, that's all. Well, that's enough for now. I still have some work to do, so I understand. Oh, I have one small favor to ask. My attempted suicide. I'd like for you to keep it a secret. Miss Andrews, if people found out about my weakness, I would sooner choose to die than live. All right, I understand. We'll keep it a secret. Miss Andrews, I guess she's the overthinking type. She probably never says anything without carefully thinking it through first. Thank you for your discretion. Mr. Nick, can I ask you something? What is it? Miss Andrews has been playing with that card in her hand since a little while back. That card? Yeah, I guess she has. Miss Andrews, what is that card you're holding? Huh? Oh, this? I don't quite know. It just suddenly appeared in my handbag. What is it? It looks like a seashell? That's what it looks like, doesn't it? Doesn't it? I also don't remember owning this card. I wonder where I picked it up from. Sure not remembering something clearly? Sounds like it would be a rare occurrence. Well, I must be off. I leave Mr. Ungard in your capable hands. Alright, well, we ain't got much to do now. We just... Oh. Watch 21st Great Water Hotel hallway. Well, I think we've gathered about all we can. What about Miss Maya? Is she alright? Oh, Pearls. She looks so worn out by all this. She hasn't slept at all and hasn't been walking all over the place with me today. What's wrong, Mr. Nick? Let's go back to the office for a little while. You're really tired, right? Oh, no! I'm okay. Really? I'm fine. I really am. You don't look fine to me. Yeah, you can fake a smile, but your emotions can be shown if you let them. March 21st. Wright and Co. Law Offices. So, what now? Well, we did find one thing out for sure. Miss Andrews has a motive. You mean Miss Impact's suicide note? That's right. She was also the one to discover the victim's body. Clever. Ah! Mr. Nick, the transceiver! Hello? Wright and Co. Law Offices. Mr. Attorney, you're not answering the phone. Maya! Where's Maya? As I promised, I have not gone within a few feet of her this whole time. Yes. Which is why I suppose she is absolutely famished. What? So I suggest you win a quick acquittal, my friend. At any cost. Wouldn't you agree? Wait! Maya! Let me hear her! Very well. Ask my... Maya! Is that you? Sis! Ask my sis! Maya! Maya! Damn it! He cut me off! Mystic Maya said, ask my sis, didn't she? Sis? What does she mean by that? Come on, Phoenix. You're a hopeless one. Sorry. Ah! Mia! I have a message from Maya, so come. Ask me anything you want about her. Maya's situation. How's Maya? She's safe, for now. That kidnapper's want to keep his word, it seems. I'm glad to hear she's safe. But Mia, how did you know? As soon as she was locked up, Maya called for me. I read the note she left. Then I gathered as much information about her surroundings as I could. I didn't know you could use spirit channeling like that. Pretty smart of her. The kidnapper. The kidnapper! What's he like? I don't know. Apparently, Maya went to answer a phone call at the hotel and was drugged there. And? She didn't see the face of her attacker. Ah! Maya is locked up in a very dark place right now. I'll tell you everything I heard when I was with her. When you were with her? Date, time, location, all unknown. I'm starving. I could really go for some apple pie. I mean, at a time like this, sweets are the only way to go. I have to stay positive. He promised he wasn't going to kill me. I'm not going to die. Sis, I wonder if you're with Nick right now. Alright, so let's examine this thing right here that appeared in this moment. Huh? Someone dropped a card here. It kind of looks like a business card, but there's no name on it. It's a picture of a seashell, I think. What a strange card. And now the door. Drat, it's locked. But this door's lock seems easy enough to open. On TV, the hero always uses a plastic card or a stiff piece of cardboard. Then click, they magically open the door. I wonder if there's a card like that around here I could use. Ah, that's it! This shell card! If I use this, maybe I can get the door open. This might be my key out of here. I had a feeling this card might be useful. I'm such a genius! Alright, now if you'll excuse me, Mr. Kidnapper. I did it! Okay, now I'm getting the heck out of here! I shouldn't keep Nick waiting. or worried. And that is how it ends on a cliffhanger. So, now that we are finally caught up, with this, we can now do the live streams as soon as this video gets uploaded. But with that being said, that is going to do it for me for this episode of Justice for All. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this is Forrest Walpole signing off.